And now let's create a function and make it a bit complex with the help of if statements or for loop. Let's first type in def keyword for defining the function. Then we will type in the function name, for example genre name. Inside of round brackets I will give parameters. Let's type in 3 parameters. We have already covered how to work with parameters, and the parameters will be the actor, the album, and the year. Then after the columns it will throw me to the new line, and here I will just print them out: actor, album, and year. And now it will, if I just run it, it will print an error because we haven't defined these function names. What should I do? I will just call this function again, genre name, and then I will define the names. The first one will be Jack, Paul, for example. The second parameter could be the genre name or album name, comedy. Then just type in the year, 2020, for example, 2022. And if I just run it, it will print the result. You could see that it has given all these values to these parameters and printed it here. And now if I want to give a condition here, I can do it easily without problems. I will give a if condition if I want to return or give a condition based on the specific year. If my year is less than 2015, for example, print me the result. Return the result as an old album, right? Otherwise, again, click it, else, colon, just return me the as album. You could return album, and it's like it's new, right? If I click run it first, you could see that it will print out. Let's just comment it and run it again. It will print out what comedy is new, because this one throws or skips this condition and prints out this one because this one is greater than 2015. But if I, instead of 2022, I will type in 2012, it will print out the old album here. Now let's create another function and work with if conditions in a different way. Just first I will type in the first, let's create a number itself, define check number. Inside of this number I will not print anything like that right now, and I will call this number check number and call it like that. And now I can give a parameter here. This one could be, for example, 10. After assigning the value here, I can call it from this one, like number, right? And if I print it out right now, number, it will print out the 10. And here I can give a condition with assigning it to or comparing it with another number. I have number 2 here, and it prints it's equal to 20, right? And I give a condition here. If my number, which is inside of the function, is equal to number 2, then print me or return me number is matched, right? Otherwise, return me not matched, right? If I click enter, what will it print? Let's comment it. It will print not matched because 10 is not equal to 20. But if I just make it 20 and click enter, it will give through me to this condition here, that number is matched to the first one because 20 is equal to the second variable here, 20. The same is also true for the strings. Let's see that this one is a string here, string, right? And here I have a text. here instead of the string I have like house, for example, house, and I just try to comparing this house to this one, and this should be not house or anything like which is not equal to the house. And now I'm checking that if my text here, this one, because this is this house, this parameter is equal to this string, I will print out string is matched, otherwise not matched. If I click alt enter, it will print out not matched because this house is not equal to this string here. We could even inside of these double quotes we can type it in, it will again work perfectly. If I rename it to the house, it will print what? It will print string is matched here. Let's create another function here and iterate over an array. First I will create an array like L equals and give elements here, first, second, and third, right? And I will try to loop through it with the help of function. First I will define the function name, diff, iteration, iterate like func. This is the name of the function. You could just name it whatever you want, it does not matter here. And inside of this round brackets I will do what? I will explain it right now. First I will try to call this function here, iterate func. I have called it, and now what I will do, I will give this array to this parameter here, this variable. First I will type in this variable, it has accepted all these values, and now I can define this variable differently here. Let's see that I want to define them like listed, right? And now I can use this listed and iterate around it. If I just print them out, what will it print? Let's see, listed. If I click alt enter, it will print it like an array. But if I want to iterate through it, I will do what? I will give a condition, for loop here, for I in listed, print me I. If I click alt enter, it will print them, it will iterate first and print them out here, first, second, third. But we have already explained how to give indexes here. We could give it in two ways, first with the help of enumerate and second with the help of range and len functions. Let's try to work or print out it with enumerate. First, for I will add one more character here. It could be what? It does not matter, L, like this one. And then I will type in enumerate here, enumerate, and surrounded with this round brackets here. Y, I, and L, enumerate. If I print it L and click enter, you could see that this I will be the index number and this L will be these elements here. This is the first way of iterating it. And the second one is with the help of what? Range and len function. Again, we will just print for I, we will delete it in, and here I will type in what? In range, then len, and then inside of this len I will do what? Listed. I try to iterate all the elements based on the length of this list here. If I run it, it will give me an error. Why? Because I have an L here. I will delete this L and print it like that, like this one. First listed, then, or even I can do it like that. First the name of this list, array, and iteration here. If I click enter, you will see that the result will be the same. And what we have, let's create a bit more complex function here and try to print them out. How we should do this? First we will create the data equals, inside of this data we will have the names of the films, but we will have them as a separate list inside of the list. First the name of the film, okay, space Odyssey, for example, Odyssey. Then we will have another film called science fiction, and now I can create another list here inside of the list and name it like the name of the film could be Citizen Kane, and another one could be Friends. This is our list, and what I will do here, I will first define the function again. Define function movies colon. I will call it here. I'll just copy it, paste it here, and pass this variable here. And now I will try to print it and see what will it print here. Data. If I click enter, it will give me an error because I haven't defined it here. I haven't passed the data here. What would I do? I can just give a call it from here, or data, and print it out here. If I click enter, it will print out all the elements name, all these names of my film, but I already know how to access them. We have already covered it, but now I want to count them, all these films, the number of characters in each film here. How will I do this? With the help of for. First I will just comment it and create what? The for loop here. For I in or data, this is our data here, and I will try to print it again with I. If I click them, it will print out the result as the separate elements here. You could see. And now what I will do, I would really like to count these characters, but in order to count these characters I will have to create another loop inside of this loop here, because this one is not going to be iterate these elements here. It will iterate these lists inside of this list, but in order to iterate and going inside of this list, we will create another loop here. Let's delete it, and here I will create another list for I will type in like C movies in enumerate I. You could see that this I is passed here to this for loop, and now I can even print out the result. Let's see what will it print right now. If I print C, it will print 0 1 0 1. This is the elements here, 0 1 0 1. If I will print movies, it should give the names of these movies here: Space Odyssey, Science Fiction, Citizen Kane, and Friends here. but I want to count their characters here. But in order to count them, I will have to use the len function and assign it to the variable here. If I want len these movies, because we are going to count these names here, movies, right? And if I print out the result with enter, it will print out the characters, the number of characters for each element here. You could see this one's 12, this one's 15, this one is 12 again, this one is 7. And let's try to print all of them at once. What should I do? Let's delete both of them and try to create or print out all of them. Print first C, the second movies, then has here, then I will print out the length movies or this variable here because it already holds this functionality, and then I can even after comma type in characters. If I click alt enter, you can see how perfectly it will print out the number of characters here for each element. Run it. Space Odyssey has 12 characters, or sorry, this dash should be here. Space Odyssey has 12 characters, Science Fiction has 15 characters. You can see it has already counted all of them. You could even print it in another way. This way is also should be introduced to you in the future. You will need it because we haven't made it with the concatenation. We are just made it with these commas here, but sometimes you would need to use this concatenation here. How should I do this with concatenations? I will just type in again print C, the first, then I will type in like movies with the dash. Let's add in a dash here. After the dash, not comma here. Yes, here should be the comma, and after the dash it could be the movies plus has, again this one is only concatenation, and we are calling this variable here num, and then with concatenation we are typing the characters here. Let's comment this one and try to print this one. It will print an error, only concatenate str, not int. Okay, what would it print? It prints that we can't concatenate str with int. Which one is the int here? Int is this one because this one is the numbers. But in order to print out this number inside of these characters, you should just surround it, entail it with what? With str function. I think this should work here. If I click alt enter, you could see it prints out the result perfectly. Run it. Yes, we even don't need it here, just delete it. You'll see the result is the same. We have printed it in another way. I think that that's enough for functions, and this was pretty useful lesson for you. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel. Have a good day. Bye.